I like the sweet and sour the most.
Yeah, sweet and sour is so good. No.
I have like extra
Yeah.
salt or plain.
Clucky, what kind of chicken nuggets or chicken strips do you have in the UK?
Here's a tip. Shut your fucking mouth.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Hey, can you hear me now? Oh my goodness, I have been talking this whole time without a mic and I didn't even know it. I even was reading. It's like, oh my goodness. Thank you for the redeem though. Oh my god. Okay, I'll start over on the reading since like I didn't get very far. So, yeah, I totally forgot that I had like I did an update the other day. Oh my god. How have you been, Neil? Okay, so we're starting a new book. It's called The Gambit by Andrea Huston. I think that's how it's pronounced. Um, midstream. Yeah, I haven't done it midstream. Most of the time, people tell me early enough, but I didn't have anybody tell me this time. Oh my god, you've been good? I have been tired this week. So, like, okay, I had some really hard cleans. There was like 2 days that I was cleaning for like 7, 8 hours straight. And those cleans are so hard on me. They exhaust me so much. So, but anyways, so I need to share my announcements. Book clubs. Book clubs. We have one book club. Our indie book club is meeting this Saturday. We are discussing the I think it's called Love in the Game, Love is the Game, something like that, by Caitlin Gorlish, I think it's pronounced. Um, so we're meeting that this Saturday, and then also on the other book club, we had started. Everybody kind of voted, and they voted for Shogun as our historical fiction this month. Um, and so I'm struggling with Shogun so much. So much. Like, I, I don't even know how to explain it. I'm doing the audio and I have restarted the audio multiple times. I'm having to like listen and then go back and listen to it again. Like, so I'm struggling. And I don't know how it's going to go because the book is very long and we have a month to read it. And so, like, I'm supposed to get done with 18 chapters by the end of this week, and I'm at chapter 7. So, so I don't know. So there is a little bit difference though. There's something different that we're doing with this book club that we have never done with any other one. Because we're doing Shogun, and Shogun is also a series, we are watching the series as we read the book. So since I already like break down the book each week, like we read so many chapters or whatever, we're going to be watching an episode or two of Shogun every week in the Discord. So tomorrow we're going to try. I'm pet sitting, so we'll see how it goes. But tomorrow we're going to watch episode 1 and 2 of Shogun. So, so that's happening. Oh my god, I still can't believe I did all that. I don't think there was anything else. Journey won the giveaway. It was in my Discord because I have a sub-only channel there. So, so yeah. Okay. Let's start over. Streamer scuff is forever. I know, right? Oh my goodness. I missed last week because I was pet sitting, and I was going to try to do 2 streams this week to kind of make up, but then like because of those cleans, I was just way too exhausted. Because I don't know about y'all, but streaming takes a lot of energy. Like it could take a lot. Last night, Monster Hunter Wilds crashed and ended my stream too. So annoying. Wait, do you play Monster? I have that game, Neil. I like that game. I mean, lately I've been kind of mainly only playing Dreamlight. But I do have that game and I do like that game. You know, I have been really considering maybe doing a gaming stream, but I don't know. Because my streams are kind of like book and book theme and reading kind of deal. So, I don't know. Yeah, I have it. It doesn't like my hardware. Wait, why is that? Don't you have a pretty decent setup? Oh, Neil, I got new switches for my keyboard. Well, you could designate a Pacific. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Right now, I've been doing once a week because of how inconsistent my streaming is. Because, like, I was planning on streaming tomorrow, but then I had somebody reach out to me about pet sitting starting tomorrow. So my streaming schedule is so inconsistent, and I only do it once a week because not just that, I'm still like moving, so I'm trying to get stuff done. It's not going very well. It's rather overwhelming. But like, I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Okay. I don't think there is anything else. Oh, I have a map. Did I put the map back up? Yep. Okay. Okay. So, oh, I forgot to go live here. I guess it's a good thing I'm starting over. Okay, there we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do, because I also picked up another kind of job kind of deal, so it's not like a lot, but I did do that too. Um, so good rehearsal everyone now for the real street, right? But what was I saying? Oh yeah, a lot going on. That's why my streams. Yeah, it sucks though, Neil, because like I mean, I don't know if you can I mean, I'm sure you relate. Um oh, I've been talking to Millie by the way. But anyways, it's really hard because like I know it's been like a year or 2 years that all of this has been going on. Um but like because of all of the stuff that I have going on, there has been quite a few people that they kind of just like dropped me. So that's the kind of the sad thing is seeing that, but it is what it is. Um but anyways, um Neil, I got new keys. I don't know if you were able to hear my keys before. Let me like type somewhere. Let's see if you could hear it. Let's just go here. I'm gonna take my mic and put it right close to it. I don't know if you were able to hear. No, no, I meant like not like teams, but just like people like they just like they stopped following me, they stopped talking to me, like all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like they just kind of like decided that they didn't want to be friends no more. I don't know. You heard it? Doesn't it sound so nice? You love you're loud. Really? I had the red switches and my keyboard was so it was loud. I did not like it. So I want to get new keycaps. So these switches are supposed to work really well with like ceramic keycaps because that's kind of what I'm wanting. But I don't know. Millie's saying that they're not that great. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Cause like I do pull people up, but like a lot of times when I get on my PC, the people that I normally um talk to or whatever, they're not on during that time. These are cherry gray. Uh, my keyboard came with the red switches. I don't know if those are called cherry, but they're red. I think they're red switches. And I did not like them. These are like light, they're like blue. But they sound so much better. So I definitely enjoy them. My hands hurt by the time I was done with my keyboard. Oh, you know what? Wait, I was short by like 2 switches. I was short by 2 switches. All the other ones were changed, but 2. And you might be able to hear a difference. Hold on. So there you go. The first one was the red switches, and then the second one was the new one. Oh, Neil, I still have to send your stuff. I did not forget. I'm going to send it. It was just like I said, I have been pet sitting, so I haven't got much of a chance. So don't worry, it's coming. I haven't forgotten. Okay, let's go ahead and read. If this map You're good, thank you. Yeah, of course. I I'm trying to keep on top of that. In the past I have been really bad about it. Okay, so this map is here. This is part of the map. And I thought it would be neat to like have it here. But if it bothers y'all that it's covering the words, just let me know. Okay, before I remember the first time I looked death in the eye and fought back. Daddy was on the ground, lying so still. I saw it then, as if it were hovering above him. Sorry, I keep on messing with the mic. Waiting for me. There was no fear on my part. I knew even at 7 years old what I needed to do. The family surrounding him, however, was hysterical. My mother sobbed as she knelt beside him. And my grandmother, Mary, screamed, tipping her head back and shouting into the night sky. Ah, where were you? Alistair, where were you? I glanced at the stars for the blink of a second, trying to see if my deceased grandfather, whom I've never met, was lingering above the castle. But alas, it was just the stars and the moon looking down on us. I asked my grandmother about this later, months later, and she explained she spoke to my dead grandfather often, as she believes he was guiding my father, King Octavian. Looking away from the rapid screams escaping my mother and grandmother, I stepped away from my tutor. Lima, and sat down beside my father. I saw his colors, his soul, as my grandmother calls it. It was then that I summoned his colors back into his body by placing my hand on his chest and whispering. Oh, I have to reread this. Whispering, Restio vita asaper a casa. Restio vita aspir ho casa. Restio vita asir, I don't know, ho casa. My daddy's eyes fluttered open, and he inhaled a large breath. I sat back on my butt as my mother smothered him with ecstatic, disbelieving joy. My grandmother sniffled and stared at me in awe, as did my father when he turned to me, while my mother still clung to his revived body. It was you, wasn't it? He whispered. That was the night my family realized their suspicions were true. I am not human. No, I, Josephine McClin, am indeed a... Hold on. Indeed a heretic. Oh, shoot, there was something else I was going to say to you, Neil, and I think I might have lost it now. Oh, shoot, I just hit that. Sorry. Yeah, I forgot. I remembered while I was reading But then I was like, well, I can't just stop right now. And now I'm here and it's like, now I can't remember. Um, I'm really trying to think. Yes, it happens to me all the time, but I feel like it's like right there, you know, like right there. Um, well, hopefully it comes back. I don't know if it will. Well, alright. Maybe go get. Well, here's the thing. When I remembered it, it was during that part. It was this part that I can't read. So I would probably much rather not go back and read that part. So I don't know. We'll see if it comes back. It might not. Oh, now I remember. Wait, I remember now. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I don't know. So at the beginning of the book, we'll come back to this. There's this like key and like there's a dragoon language, so I don't know if that's part of it. So I don't know. Okay, so I remembered. I have been okay, my artist sent me my models again. So we discussed and we talked about like maybe making my boobs bigger to try to get them to bounce. I don't know if you could tell a difference now. I don't know. Um so she was supposed to make them bigger, unless she sent me the wrong file, which could happen. So yeah, so she said that like making them bigger did help some, but I don't know. Yep. I had to make them more bouncy. Boobs are supposed to bounce. Like but it took her so long to get them back to me. I've been waiting like months for them. Okay. All right. Monsters time for bed. My father, King Octavian, announces as he enters the nursery. I look up from the large leather-bound book that my little brother Danny and I are browsing through, filled with mystical stories, some of which seem authentic, while others my father refers to as bedtime stories. Not yet, Danny whines as he turns the page, and a drawing of a dragoon stares back at us. What part of the book are you reading now? Our father, whom people called the greatest king ever, asks as he sits beside us on the bed. The dragoons, Danny smiles and snuggles closer to me as we lie in my bed. I look at my father and ask, "Do you think the story of Queen Serena and King Claudius is true?" He tilts his head. "Which story?" "That their twins were gifted dragoon's eggs from the gods." "Well, I don't know. You are real," he says, and winks at me, smiling. "Why was Josie the only one born as a witch?" Danny asks, his innocence shining through. He lowers his gaze from my father and adds, "I have nothing, while it seems my sister and 2 older brothers are all gifted." I hesitate to see how my father will respond to the ever-plaguing question that all of us McClin children ask. "Well, technically, Josie is the only one who was born a heretic. Remember, son, we no longer use the word witch. It sparks fear in people. Lima told me that heretic is the correct term," I add. "Ah, yes, Lima would know better than all of us, being a seeker herself," my father says, reinforcing my statement. "All right, but what about my older brothers? Killian and Alexander. They both have the gift of the sword, while Octavia and Charlie have nothing. How is that, father?" I used to have a friend named Octavia. Just a side note. She was my best friend growing up. But I always thought that was a interesting name. She was the only Octavia I knew. Okay. Let me check these over here. Interesting name for sure. Yeah, like, I actually knew somebody. She was the only one that I knew, but with that name. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Octavia, like, was some leader or somebody, king, I don't know, from years ago. But don't hold me to that. I could be wrong. Killian and Alexander are indeed elite warriors. Daddy agrees. Some say their fighting abilities are godlike, I add, referring to the rumors swirling around our 2 half-brothers who belong to a mercenary clan in the northern hemisphere. Both are unstoppable soldiers. Father chuckles. I suppose so. There is no explanation for why they and Josie have the gifts. We have traced the lineage of heretic back to my ancestors, and I am without gifts. I suppose only the gods know the actual answer. Will they come home to visit soon? Danny asked, and I am also anxious about the answer. The last raven carrying a message from your brothers arrived yesterday, but it was with news on some new finding about the heretic delusive war that is spooking the people in the north. Sadly, nothing on them coming to visit. Really? Octavian, you said you were putting them to bed, not reading, our mother, Queen Charlotte says, pushing the bedroom door open. We are talking about dragoons, Danny tells our mother, his excitement clear. Right before bed, Danny will have nightmares, my mother says, shooting an annoyed glance at the king. No, I won't, mother, Danny argues. He could sleep with me, I say, pulling him closer. Josephine, you are a princess and now 13. You do not need your little brother sleeping with you. She sighs in frustration as she straightens her styled auburn curls. Mother's hair shines in the sun like a ruby. I have always loved it, unlike mine, which is a shade of red but resembles the roaring flame of a fire. I will always look out for Danny, no matter my age, whether I am a princess or a queen. I declare my tone a slight challenge, and I sense that the queen has taken it to heart. My mother feels quite the opposite about my father researching my gift. Her opinion is that the less we know, the better. I surmise that if she could ask the gods to revoke my gift, she would. A queen? My mother raises her brows again, looking at my father with accusatory, pursed lips before exiting the room. My father kisses the top of my head and says, I know you will always look out for Danny. I tilt my head and look up at him. Our eyes meet, and he says, I know you will be a great queen one day. One day too. My bad. I will? I ask, though I assume he is jesting. I have never envisioned myself on a throne or wearing a crown. My visions are scattered, but when they come, they are intense, sometimes too intense for my small body and mind. I usually end up napping for a few hours afterwards. I think so, he says, smiling. My father reaches for the book and says, That is enough for tonight. Your mother is right. I do not want to give Danny nightmares. I won't have nightmares, Danny argues. Maybe more tomorrow. Okay, Neil, thank you. Maybe more tomorrow, Father says as he kisses our heads. Good night, my monsters. Sleep well. He turns and takes the book from my bed as he walks away. I twist my mouth, watching him, and smirk at Danny. Later that night, after my parents had fallen fast asleep, I took the book from my father's library. With Danny laying beside me, I read more pages, but I wasn't sure where my father had left off, so I flipped to a random chapter. The pink stone glistened like a diamond as the sun's rays reflect off its smooth surface. To the human eye, it appears as a large mountain that dazzles like diamonds in the sunlight, but in reality, it is a magical castle in the kingdom of Euros, ruling over all the other kingdoms. My mind becomes hazy, and dark edges close in around me as if I am falling down a tunnel. It happens every time I have a vision. This is how they always begin. And as the haze clears, I find myself right in the middle of somewhere. Usually familiar, but sometimes not. I stand in a circular room with floor-to-ceiling windows lining the walls and pink stone floors. We sacrificed so much to get here, Killian, my oldest brother, whispers, looking around the room. Shoot. He is much older, and his hair is still long and braided, but his face looks withered. I turn to him. I, too, am older, perhaps 30, and my hair is styled in braids, similar to those of my brothers. A small gold and red crown sits atop my head, but I'm not wearing a gown like most queens. I'm wearing a tunic and breeches with boots, like a man. We have, but we made it. We will dedicate this day to all the souls we lost along the way. My mind clears, and I feel lucid again. My eyes scan the room, taking in the details of my surroundings. Once I regain my bearings, I absorb the vision that occurred, and the emotions from my experience scorch through me. Are you done? Danny whispers. I widen my eyes, and I turn my head, looking straight into his eyes. I think Daddy is right. Why? What was this one about? He asked, his voice soft and filled with curiosity. The mountain, I reply, and lie beside him, snuggling deeper into my blankets. What did you see? He asked, curling up beside me. It was beautiful, so much more than I can explain, but the emotions were mixed. Not all good either, but I am wearing a crown. How do you know it was a queen's crown? I don't, but sometimes about the emotions that Killian and I shared, I shake my head and say, perhaps I am wrong. Lima said that sometimes a vision can look one way, but mean something entirely different. What was beautiful about the mountain? He smiles. The room was made of pink stone. I was with Killian. Killian? Do you ever have any with me? Danny asked. Not yet, I reply. Danny furrows his brows. Do you think they are all real, or... It was real, I say with confidence. I can tell. How? I feel the emotions, I whisper and look at him as I lie on my side. His blue eyes stare into my green with such innocence. I feel emotions from the people whom I have visions for. If they hurt, I hurt. If they feel love, I feel love. For how long? He asks. Not long, I shrug. Though it is intense, the feelings are powerful, and my emotions are strong. Will you have to move from the nursery soon, like Octavia and Charlie did? Danny asked, referring to our older siblings, the prince and princess, twins who were both recently married. Octavia, a year ago, and Charlie, 2 years ago, as his big blue eyes fill with fear. I sigh and whisper, responding to Daniel's question. Mother says 1 more year, when I am 14, I will take the room down the hall. The room that Alexander's mother lived in? Danny asked, eyeing the door. I know he is afraid that my mother might hear him talk about our half-brother's deceased mother, Ursula. She was murdered when I was 7. Leaving Danny just a year old. I am aware that he can't possibly remember our distant cousin Ursula, with whom our father, the greatest king to rule, had a bastard son. I remember her, however. She was magnificent. I can't talk. A force to be reckoned with, and beautiful. I have asked Daddy about her a few times, and at first he was tight-lipped, but over the years, when Mother isn't around... He has opened up more about how he misses her. He describes her as being full of life, vivacious, and ambitious, while my mother says she was cruel, evil, deceitful woman meant to bring nothing but heartache to those she touched. The nursery room door slowly opens and my father peeks his head inside. Hey, you two little monsters, why are you still awake? He slides inside and walks across the room, with the moon shining through the large picture window, highlighting his muscular frame. Danny turns his head to look at my father, who kneels beside the bed. Josie had a seeing, Danny says, and my father's eyes flicker to meet mine. Are you all right? He asks, knowing how exhausting the emotions can be for my young mind. Yes, Daddy, I nod, and Danny whimpers. Will Josie have to leave my room soon? My father pulls back, frowning in confusion. Leave you? Of course not. Danny doesn't want me to leave the nursery. I clarify. Ah. Well, Daniel, your sister is getting older now, and there comes a time when it's more appropriate for her to have her own room. I will miss her, Danny whines, snuggling closer to me. My father smiles at me and rubs my brother's back. I know change is hard sometimes, but Josie isn't leaving us for some years yet. He glances at me and adds, There will come a time, though. He shakes his head. Never mind that now. You will still have her here at the castle for many years. Promise? Danny asks, his tone becoming more cheerful. Danny hesitates, which makes me wonder what's on his mind. I search his face, and a tunnel forms. The edges are smoky, and my mind fills in. You promised, my older brother Charlie shouts at Daddy. I changed my mind. I had to. Daddy shouts back as they stand in his study in Castle McLean. You know how important this is to me. How can you dismiss me so easily? Charlie shouts, running his hands through his dark curls, his blue eyes blazing at Daddy, who mirrors Charlie's expression. You have the kingdom of Ignatus? Daddy says, lowering his voice and trying to speak with reason instead of emotion. And you have proven time and again that Ignatus is far more important than your sister. That's why, because of her. You are doing this because of Josie? Charlie hisses. His anger is not shimmering as Daddy hoped. Instead, it is intensifying. Charlie strides through the study, passing the maps of all 7 kingdoms that hang on the wall. Leave her out of this, Daddy sighs, shaking his head and placing his palms flat on his large oak desk. Why should I? It's always about Josie. Since she was a little girl, it's been about her, Charlie says in frustration. Charlie, you sound awfully bitter, and there is no reason to be. Josie has had enough to deal with without her brothers turning on her. You need to be there when she needs you, son, because the time will come when she will, and I can guarantee it. You need to get your wife under control. Are you joking? Charlie shouts. No, I need you to promise me you'll think of this family. Charlie shakes his head and looks absently at Daddy, saying, I will not promise something I cannot give. My mind clears as tears pull in my eyes, and I lower my head as the first drop hits my cheek. Hey, Hey, Daddy says, taking my hand. What is it? I lift my gaze and meet his bright blue eyes staring at me with deep concern. Oh, sweetheart, another one so soon? I nod and wipe away the tears from my cheek. Charlie hates me. Daddy furrows his brow, tightening his jaw, and says, No, your brother loves you. Maybe now, but you do something, Daddy. Something for me that will make Charlie resent me, I explain, not revealing too much detail. Lima taught me how to determine what I can and cannot share, so I don't stray from the boundaries. Daddy inhales slowly and exhales. He neither denies nor confirms that my vision is false, but I can see it in his eyes and feel it in his energy. He knows I'm right. Something in the distant future will tear my family apart, and it will be because of me. Ba-ba-ba-ba. I don't know if anybody else has come in. So I can like do shout outs. Shout out, shout out, shout out. Dang. Welcome back, Neil. Alright, hold on. Let me check to see if these are still... No, I don't know you. She's still on. Oh, Ambly. Ambly's still on. Let me just get them pulled up. I was listening. That's fair. I mean, I kind of figured, because you said that you could still hear. Okay. Well, I think this is a good start to our book. Oh, I did mention while I was muted, while nobody could hear me. So I think this book is like 500 something pages. I'm not sure. Oh, hey. Hold on. Sorry, somebody that has not been on for a very long time just came on. While I was like not while I didn't have my mic. So this book is like 500 something pages, and I don't know because I know that like it takes me a long time to get through books on stream for some reason. But so we'll see, cuz like in the past I tried to do like 2 chapters, but I don't know like while we're going through this book if how that's going to work, because like this here, like there's 40 something chapters, but they're pretty long. Like, I think 15, 20 pages or whatever. So, we'll see. Oh, Neil, you can always chat. I don't care, because I'll chat while I'm reading. Yeah, you don't need to worry about that. In other reading streams, it's a little bit different than mine. They're more like everybody's listening and they'll only talk in between chapters, but I don't do that. So I always yeah, I'm always okay with talking while I'm reading. Yeah, so other book people, book Twitch or whatever, um, they'll read a chapter, chat in between the chapters, and so forth, so forth. I don't do that. My streams are that's kind of why my streams are different from a lot of other book streamers because I don't do that. Because I talk while I'm reading. But I think that's what makes my stream fun, though. Because there has been many times that we've had some weird conversations. You know, like the boob talk. Like, that's an example. And plus, I usually do my shoutouts. I do video shoutouts, usually in between chapters. Because then someone could say, wow, that's insane. You could stop and be like, I'm a OMG, right? I mean, I may have done that. That has happened. That definitely has happened. Neil, have you talked to Millie lately or anything? It's weird. I promise you, I think some of my sources have, like, disappeared. Exactly, that's fun though. I saw her on Ace's stream last night. Her last stream, anyway. Yeah, I chat with her like once a week. Oh, I didn't know she was still like hopping on people's streams and stuff. I know she's been busy with work. Yeah, there for a while. I didn't hear from her, but we um but we've been chatting again, so like when she first started working, I think when she was like really busy. So, oh my god, it's 3 a.m. It's not even 10 o'clock here. Neil, you need to go to bed. Go to bed, Neil. That's so late. Okay, I think I'm going to try to continue. Family affair. Oh, you talked to her at 3 a.m. Oh, I thought you were saying it's 3. Okay, I thought so, but I wasn't sure. So, like, I thought you were behind me because we've had this conversation, but then I was like, well, maybe I was wrong. Yeah, I don't try to stay up that late anymore. I was doing that quite a bit before, like staying up till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Um, a lot of it was, like Friday, I used to, you know how I used to stream like 3 times a week or whatever? Friday was like a really late night stream. I would start at 11 a.m. and it will go for a couple hours. And when I did those late night streams, they were affecting me where I couldn't sleep that night. So, like, I would be up all night because I couldn't sleep. So I try not to stay up anymore. Now that I'm trying to be more, I don't know, regular? I don't know what's the term. Okay. That's good. Yeah. I literally like had to work with my therapist for my sleep because my lack of sleep makes my ADHD worse. So, okay. Family affair. Kingdom of Evoca. Josephine, how do I let you get us into such messes? Lima scolds me as we dangle from the edge of a mountainside. The drop won't result in death, but it will certainly cause an injury, especially for my tutor, who is 20-some years old. Give me 1 second. Oh, I hope I could get through this. I forgot today's not Friday. I gotta work tomorrow morning. Okay, we'll try to go. It is a mountain I regularly climb with her, located on the far side of the kingdom of Evoca. Today, though, we tried a different route and didn't consider the obstacles we would face coming down. I lift my lower lip to create a slight draft, blowing my red curls off my eyes, and say, "Perhaps you could holler at me after we are on solid ground." Lima grimaces, panic flooding her face, and says, "We have no choice, Josephine. We must let go." "I will go first. Maybe I could break your fall," I say to her, my fingers aching from the tense grip. "No, let me," she argues. "I am younger. My body is more resilient." "What are you saying? I'm an old hag?" Lima scoffs. "Lima, please," I huff, and without warning, I let go, landing on my feet. I smile up at the woman who is twice my age, proud of myself for mastering the landing, but worried for her. "See, it wasn't bad at all. Go on now, drop down," I say, hoping to instill confidence in her. "Are you sure?" she asks, her voice shaking from the stress her body is under. "I promise." And I pray I am successful. Lima releases one hand, then the other, and her body tumbles towards me. I attempt to catch her, and I do break her fall, but we both end up on our backs. Groans escapes from both of us, but mine soon turns into lather as I roll to my side. "Are you hurt?" Lima shakes her head. "I'm all right." "Okay, now you can yell at me," I grin at her. "Maybe later," she moans, sitting up. I raise to my feet and brush the dirt and small stones off my tunic and breeches. Gerald, the family stylist, designed a couple of pairs of each for me to wear, not only while I am out on my excursions, but also for when I train with the sword. Two things my mother knows nothing about. However, Gerald confided in me that when my mother was my age, she had him make her a similar outfit so she could joust with the stable hands without my father knowing. In the early years of my parents' arranged marriage, a union conspired to save Evoca. My mother was rebellious, something she adamantly denied, mainly when my father used it in my defense when I found myself in these sticky situations. Get a drink here. Drink, drink, drink. Come on now, we need to get back to Castle McLean. Your mother has probably discovered that you are not home, Lima says as she walks towards the safer trail we usually use to make our climb. I glance out at the sea one last time. I love climbing to the top to look out at the ocean, imagining all the lives unfolding in distant places. Places I have never been but dream of. Places only reachable by ship. I jog towards Lima and walk alongside her. My mother just doesn't understand me, I say. Lima glances at me and sighs. She is just trying to do what is best for you, Josie. Really? I scoff. Do you honestly believe that? She wants me to marry some old duke. Well, it is the way. You know this. Maybe it was the way, but I will be different. I am different, I declare. You are paratic, blessed with the gift of sight and magic. So yes, to some you are different, Lima says. I can't marry anyone. I have to marry someone who is... What? Lima eyes me and shakes her head. Don't say it, she warns. I wasn't going to. I lie. Lima purses her lips and huffs. You need to let that thought go. Nothing good could come of you and Prince Philip. Then why would I have such an intimate vision of him and me? I ask, my voice strained from the emotions attached to the incident. The vision had come on the day of my older brother Charlie wedding to Prince Meredith of Ignatus. It was alarming and odd to have such a vivid vision of Philip, who, at the time, had yet to marry my sister Octavia, but had a short year after my vision, leaving me even more confused. His parents and mine have been friends since before I was born. I don't have an answer to that, but you must let it go. You must, she states firmly. I focus on my boots as the ground changes from stone to grass, and we are now off the mountain. The warm air makes my tunic cling to my skin, and I regret having wasted so much time. I will never have enough time to bathe before my younger brother's betrothal ceremony. Do I smell? I ask, nudging Lima. Oh, for all gods, get off me, she chuckles, giving me a gentle shove. I laugh and walk away from her, my body relaxed as we make our way home. I am sure Mother will let me know if I do, I remark, earning a sideways glance from Lima, but she does not argue with my statement. As the castle comes into view, I spot my father walking towards the road, passing the training ring. Oh no, I groan when I see my instructor. Olaf coming up behind him. Okay, let's not, like, promote other people, please. Okay. What is this about? Lima asked, and then her face hardens. I knew I should have checked with Aldous myself. Josephine, Daddy says as I walk towards him. You missed your lesson today. Did I? I feign innocence. My father tilts his head. Yes, and of that I am sure you know. I waited over an hour. Olive snarls. I glare at Olive, who does more shouting than training. I know how to hold the sword correctly, and when to move and when not to move. But other than that, I am no prepared to fight in a battle at 20 than I was at 18. Not by much, anyway. My father glances at my instructor and raises his hand, signaling him to be quiet. Thank you, Olive. I will speak with my daughter. You are free to go. Olive turns on his heels and mumbles as he walks away, causing Lima and me to exchange amused glances. If you'll excuse me, Your Grace, I should run ahead and prepare for the... Oh, that's Lima. If you'll excuse me, Your Grace, I should run ahead and prepare for the evening, Lima says. My father nods as Lima bows and then jogs towards the castle. Sorry, I say, and I mean it. I hate disappointing my father. I am truly sorry, Father, but the weather was perfect and I was feeling overwhelmed. I had to escape. All right then. Well, no harm done. Just make it up tomorrow. He wraps his arms around me and kisses the top of my head. I just want you to be prepared. He takes me by my shoulders and adds, I won't live forever, he says, his magnificent blue eyes staring down at me. Daddy, I whimper, pushing back against the tears his declaration has summoned. Come now, no tears. Today is a happy day, he says, wrapping his arms around my shoulder as we walk towards the castle. The dirt from the road blows in tufts beneath our feet while the warm breeze whirls through the kingdom. It's Daniel's day. We can't have you be late. We don't want your little brother to be sore at you. Oh, it would take a lot more than being late to upset Danny, I say with certainty. Josephine, my mother shouts, her voice ringing through the air, carried towards us by the soft breeze. Now, Mother, on the other hand, well, she is a different story. She is mad at me more times than not, I say, half smiling. Josephine, hurry in now, the queen hollers impatiently. Give me 1 second. My father looks at me and nods towards the castle. It's best to run along and get ready before you upset your mother too much. We pass the training ring and the stable is just ahead, with the entrance to the garden beyond that. My mother comes into view. Her body faces the beach, her back to us, as she searches for me. Her yellow gown is almost as bright as the warm sun, which she shields her eyes from with her hand. I have a gown hidden in the garden. I will change while you distract her, I tell my father. He smiles and chuckles. Taking a page from your mother's book. He winks and turns, walking towards the castle as I sprint across the grounds, pressing my body against the stable to avoid my mother's hawk-like vision. I grab the gown wedged between two bushes, tearing off my tunic and breeches, and slide the plain pink cotton garment over my head. Josephine! Josie! She screams, her small frame lifting onto her toes as she searches through the vibrant landscape for me, her youngest daughter. The daughter who has annoyed her for as long as I can remember. I am sure she tried to love me. When I was young, she hugged me just as much as my older siblings, the twins, Prince Charlie and Princess Octavia. But as the years passed and my gifts grew stronger, an invisible barrier formed between her and me. Josephine, hurry in now. Daniel is waiting for his big sister, my mother hollers, her hand still hovering over her eyes. I brush the twigs off my gown and run my fingers through my hair as I pull it from the long braid. I don't know why I am bothering to try to look presentable. My mother often found my appearance to be lacking. With today's event, she would be extra critical, so I knew I was setting myself up for failure in her eyes by choosing such a drab gown. Then again, it's what I enjoy wearing. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy dressing up as much as the next girl, but I feel much more comfortable in breeches and a tunic. For social events, my simple cotton gowns, which don't require a corset, were the closest I could come. I peek around the magnolia tree, watching her and taking my time, waiting for my father to distract her. However, I'm in no rush, as I know an argument with the queen awaits me. I refuse to give in. I refuse to give in to her request and meet the unbearable Duke of Pembroke. I refuse to marry a man twice my age with black moles covering his neck. The thought makes me gag, and I slap my hand over my mouth to silence the sound. Since it is my brother's betrothal ceremony, a high society event, I know the Duke will be in attendance, and my mother will make a spectacle of introducing him to me. Josephine, Margaret, Mary, my mother screams, and I can't help but giggle at her anger, while I continue to hide behind the lush foliage. The warm months of Evoca far outweighs the cold weather, allowing the garden to flourish. A row of a dozen magnolia trees lines the edge of the garden. The magnolia flower is my mother's favorite, while ivy is her least favorite. It is the one plant my mother does not allow in the kingdom. After her mother Anne passed away 5 years ago, she enacted a law prohibiting anyone residing within the city limits from growing the plant. That seems a little extreme. Give me 1 second. Okay. The queen glides her long, ring-covered fingers through her graying auburn hair to ensure all the curls are centered on her head. Her fingers tap her signature crown, which rests in the center of her curls, sliding down to her throat. Where she adjusts her emerald necklace, the breeze tugs at the long hem of her yellow gown. My mother is breathtaking and has impeccable style. She thrives on staying up to date with the latest fashion trends. As long as I can remember, she has never left her bedchamber unkept. Though my father tells me she was famous for running around at all hours when she was young and nothing but a nightgown. Charlotte, my God, the entire kingdom can hear. Oh, Charlotte, my God, the entire kingdom can hear you, my father says, climbing the stairs to stand beside my mother. What will our guests think? His broad, muscular frame perfectly complements his tunic and pants, showcasing his well-maintained physique. Even at his age, he has maintained his physical fitness through swordsmanship and swimming. Well, that daughter of yours is being stubborn. She knows it's your brother's betrothal, yet she still insists on acting like a child. I watch my father cradle my mother's face and say, Josie is only 20. Remember how you were at that age, my love? Yes, I was a queen and about to be a mother, she says, pulling away from my father's grasp. He smiles and shakes his head. Yes, my little troublemaker, you were. Oh, Octavian, really? She scoffs, swatting at him playfully. My father loves my mother, a deep, visible love. It was well known throughout the kingdom that the king of Evoca was infatuated with his queen. My parents were fortunate. Just months into their marriage, they both realized that they were crazy about each other. A love that grew strong, not without its hiccups. Stories of all sorts still floats around the kingdom about how hard years between my parents, and I have vivid memories of some rather difficult times in the castle. Still to this day, I often watch my mother throw tantrums and get upset over the simplest things, which makes me wonder how my father loves her. As I peek around the tree, I witness my parents flirting with each other. I offer a small prayer to my gods, asking them to grant me a husband who is half as wonderful as my father. Lately, I found myself saying this prayer quite often, knowing that my time to wed is soon. My father raises his brows, flashing his famous McClin smile, the very one that every maiden fawns over. How easily you forget everything you put me and this kingdom through. My mother leans against his chest and gazes up at him, batting her eyes. Are you telling me it was not worth it? He leans down from his towering 6'2" frame, bringing his lips to hers. I would never even think such a thing. Charlotte. My mother smirks at him, taking his affections for granted. She turns away from his attempt to kiss her again and cups her hands around her mouth, but I pop out from behind the magnolia tree before subjecting the guest to her ear-piercing screech. Excuse me. Get a drink of water. I smile as I run to my father, lifting the hem of my gown. Daddy, I call out, eager to be in his arms. Ah, there she is. My father smiles, watching me. My mother rolls her eyes and glares at me, clearly already annoyed with me for the evening. Where have you been? Did you not hear me calling for you? She asked with a ragged sigh. I wrap my arms around my father's waist and reply, I heard. Oh, you see, she says, looking at my father as she throws her hands into the air. The sun glints off the jewelry adorning her fingers, while the bangles on her wrist jingle in unison. I heard, and now I am here, I say as I step back from my father, meeting my mother's narrowed blue eyes that are throwing daggers in my direction. Yes, after I waited inside and had to be pulled away from the court to come out and fetch you, she scalds me, in a tone of calm finality. My father says, Charlotte, she is here. There is no need to press the issue. My mother regards my father and me with cold indifference, saying, Your father is always coming to your rescue, being the peacemaker. She looks me over from head to toe and adds, You're lucky this event takes place outdoors. We watch her march inside, and when she disappears from view, my father glances down at me. You have to stop upsetting your mother. He pauses and adjusts his tone from a scolder to a sympathizer. For all our sakes. Oh, Daddy, Mother is never happy with me. That is not true, he argues. I step back and gaze up from my 5'4" height. He looks like such a king with his raven black hair and not a single strand of gray in sight. Something that drove my mother into a frenzy of jealousy. His impressive gold crown, encrusted with emeralds, sits on top of his head, demonstrating that the fates were right to choose him. None of the other kings in history or currently alive compares to him, at least not from my perspective. When he seized the kingdom of Evoca and was compelled to marry my mother during the early days of his reign, he was young, only 21, and unsure. The stories he shared with me about the days before my birth fascinated me. Although he started as an unknown king, he quickly earned the trust of his people and the rulers in the neighboring kingdom. Nearly 30 years later, he was respected and feared by everyone. The greatest king to ever rule is what the people said about my father, Octavian McLean. Come now. Daniel's ceremony is about to start. Let's not make your mother any angrier by being late, he says, extending his hand. I wrap my fingers around his palm, letting him lead me inside Castle McLean. The stone... I just lost my spot. The stone floor of the large entry hall shines from being freshly washed, and family portraits from years past hang on the walls between each doorway. They begin with my parents' wedding portrait and conclude with a family portrait, which was painted 2 years before Charlie married Princess Meredith of Ignatus. I am sorry Charlie and Meredith cannot attend, I say as we pass the study and library, making our way towards the dining hall, my small heels clicking against the stone. Yes, but just think, you're going to be an aunt soon. The last raven arrived from the kingdom of Ignatus an hour ago with the message from Charlie. Meredith is very close. Her physician believes it will be any day now. So, I imagine a raven will arrive soon with the news of the newest McClan prince. I hope so, for Meredith's peace of mind, I mutter. Why do you say that? My father asks as we pause outside the dining hall. He raises his hand to signal his manservant to wait a moment before announcing his presence in the room. I shrug as my father searches my face, dreading my answer. She had been worried about this birth. I have given her no cause to. My father raises his brow. Are you sure? Sometimes, my dear, you say words that seem harmless to you, but to us? No, I promise, I'm getting better at slipping up. I shake my head. I promise you. I won't tell anyone anything I see unless they request to know. He smiles and kisses my head. Thank you, sweetheart. It makes your mother more comfortable. I know. I nod, though it frustrates me again to see my mother trying to hide who I really am. Daddy, I tug on his arm, stopping him from stepping away. I am not meeting that Duke, I say, holding my ground. I will not give you details, but he is not who I see in my vision. Josie, my father says, his tone turning into a warning. I close my eyes and let out exasperated sigh. Fine, but I will not be quarrel, I warned. I know he only appeases my mother to keep the peace. So will I too, for his benefit. So be it, my father concedes, slipping his arm into mine. Give me 1 second. Okay. I gasp as my mind fades to gray. Not now, I moan under my breath. My vision blurs as the darkness envelops me. I am transported to another time, living in my vision. So it feels. The entryway to Castle McLean is unchanged. I stand with my arm raised and my hand extended. My anger has never controlled me in this way, and at this moment, my mother is the target. Ascendia per Climu entity? I shout, my gaze burning through my mother. Ascendia per Climu entity. Tears line the rim of my eyes as I shout again and again, walking towards my mother. She clutches her throat, shaking her head as her crown tumbles and bounces off the marble floor. A tear trickles down my cheek, but I do not cave, and my mother's eyes widen. Josephine, she attempts to speak, but my hold on her keeps her from doing so. Josephine, for the love of all gods, let her go! My father shouts at me, his eyes frantic as he looks from his wife to his daughter. Sweetheart, please release your mother. Oops. I don't look at my father. All I could think about are the years of ridicule I spent under my mother's thumb. And I squeeze harder, though my hands don't touch her. The spell I'm casting over her does the choking for me. My mother attempts to fight me, making one last effort before collapsing onto the marble floor. Okay, we're gonna stop there. Okay, we did manage to get through 2 chapters technically, but we'll see, because I imagine the other chapters are probably longer than the prologue. So, oops. Okay. And I think 10:30, that's exactly 2 hours. Wow. So, we will don't forget book club this Saturday. And then we're also watching episode 1 and 2 of Shogun to go with chapters 1 through 18 of the book that we're reading. Is there anything else? Movie night. Book club Saturday. Nope. I think that's it. Nothing else really. Oh, let me switch to just chatting. So yeah, book clubs are coming. We're doing Shogun and Love is the Game. Love is the Game by Caitlin Gorlish. I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced. But that, I think that's about it. We're going to try to do the movie night tomorrow. I'm pet sitting, so we'll see. But if it works out, then I'll be able to do probably more movie nights, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So yeah, let's see who is on. Let's see who we will raid. Oh my goodness. Alter is on. We are totally rating him. I don't think I've seen him stream in forever. I think I've been missing his streams. I mean, if he's on at this time, then probably. Okay, so let's raid him. That's who we're going to raid. Yeah. Copy. Raid. So yeah, he's another book streamer. He's also one of the first other book streamers that I came across. Him and Shy. I haven't seen Shy on for a minute though either. But anyways, it looks like he's reading Mean Spirited. Maybe? I think so. So, thank you so much, everybody, for coming in and hanging out with me and listening to our new book. The new book sounds very interesting. I I know it's only the first 2 chapters, but I like them. So we're going to raid Altered, another book streamer. So if y'all could just show him some support too. And I will see y'all if you're not in the if you're in the Discord, I'll see you in the Discord. But if not, I'm planning on streaming. Hold on, I made a calendar. I have not made a calendar for March, so I need to do that. But I should be on next week at some time, some point. So, all right, thanks. Bye, guys. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, uh-oh.
First time since he was murdered. How else to describe it? You just had to have been there to see it, to feel the weight of it. We decided to do the same thing on that lady had done on YouTube did. Sorry. We decided to do the same thing that lady on YouTube did. And we took him to the kitchen, and sure enough,